Well, hey there, y'all. Welcome back to Apron Strings, and welcome to all the new subscribers. The good Lord is blessing me. I've had lots of new subscribers in the last couple of weeks. And every time I click on there and I see I've got some more, I say, oh, thank you, Jesus, and please bless them. I'm thankful that my channel's growing. And that's from my heart. Words are cheap and easy to say, but I really mean that. Every one of y'all are helping to make my channel what it is, and I'm so thankful. I enjoy doing this, and everybody wants their channel to grow, and everybody wants to make some extra money. So the more I have people subscribing and watching, I'll make a little more money to help pay the taxes and all. You know, when you're on a fixed income, every little bit helps. So that's what we're trying to do, is figure out ways to get us some tax money, because the taxes and the light bill keeps going up. Groceries too, gasoline too. But the Lord will provide. If we do our part, He'll do His. Today we're going to make something that has a fun name and it tastes like a piece of heaven. We're going to make a sawdust pie. Have you ever heard of it? It's pretty cool. Doesn't take a lot of ingredients. I say that often, but it really doesn't. And I have to get my pie crust made. It's real hard to make it. I have to let it come to kind of room temperature where I can roll it a little thinner and fit it in my pan, and then we'll be back to do what we have to do to make the pie. Now, I got my blackberries planted. I had ordered 2 from Gurney's, and they were called Punko Thornless Blackberries. And then the lady that I like to buy plants from in Cleveland, it's April, worked with her daughter at Vanny's Flowers. And so she had gotten in some blackberry vines, and they are thornless Natchez blackberries. So I got 4 from Vanny and 2 from Gurney's. So I put up one of the, I think I showed y'all maybe, the cattle panels with T-posts. So I put the 4 Natchez on one side and the 2 Punkos on the other side, and they'll all marry and know each other, and I won't know which is which probably. But right now I know. I may run out with the camera directly and show y'all just the blackberry. My garden looks pitiful. Everything's dying from the heat, and I'm watering. But it's about time to pull it up and plant the fall garden anyway. So, but I may run out and show y'all my blackberry vines. I'm proud of them. And my tomatoes are still making. Some of them got little bitty ones on them, and I don't have much faith that in this heat and all that they're going to get big, but I pray for them. Sure do. I ask the Lord every time I water them. Please let my tomato plants produce big, pretty tomatoes. I've done my part, and I'm asking you to do yours, Jesus. Now, I talk to Him just like I talk to y'all, because He's my friend and my Father, and He's everything I need. So when I want to talk to Him, He's just right there with me, and I just talk to Him. You can do the same thing. Okay, I've got to separate some eggs too, but I may do that while I'm talking to y'all. But as soon as this gets to where I can get it in the pan, we'll get this chug-a-lugging along, and we'll have us some sawdust pie. This up here by the house is still green because it's kind of under the eave of the house, and I water every day. And so that's looking pretty good. And over there, and some of these still look pretty good. Now my green stalk hadn't took off yet with these strawberries, but I've got to fertilize. I forgot that I was supposed to fertilize it ever so often. My basil is big, and it's time to cut it again and bring it in and make some pesto. And then let me get over here and show y'all. My bee balm had gotten huge and just fallen over and was nasty, so I cut it all back, and it's all coming back. And have any of y'all read this? I read where a lady said that she uses her bee balm. She dries it and uses it for Italian seasoning instead of making Italian seasoning from all the different herbs. She said it works the same and tastes the same. Have y'all ever heard of that? I hadn't heard of it, but I am going to try it. And then I planted just a few okra seed, and they have come up, and they're doing pretty good. I may try to transplant them and line them up like a row in one of these beds, because my beds, as you can see, are pitiful. They're yellow, and my eggplant still looks pretty good, but I'm mad at it because they told me I was getting Black Beauty, and I got miniature eggplants, and they're pitiful. This is the African blue basil, my pepper plants. I like these, whatever they're called, the little bird's eye. We call them bird's eye peppers. Daddy would put them in his pepper sauce. taking my time. It's got some little weeds coming up in it, and I've got some jalapenos in here. My 4 o'clocks are still pretty. And that's my sugar pumpkins. Remember I showed y'all the other day? Look how big they're getting. I hope they make pumpkins. I've never grown pumpkins. I'm excited. Now let's go over there and look at the berry vine. Okay, the panel goes across here. And on this side are the natchez. And then right here on the other side, this one right here and the one by the bucket down there are the Ponca, P-O-N-C-A. And I just hope they make real good, and I can just come out here and pick and eat, or pick and do whatever I want to with them. But I love using the cattle panels for a trellis. It sure works out good. And it's hot out here, and I'm not going to walk y'all around to look at everything else. Let me go over here and show you my Jew hanging baskets that I potted from sprigs back at the beginning of the spring. Here's one of them. See how big it is? And there's one down on the ground beside it that are not quite as big. Over here I've got some on this, I'm going to tell you what, I've got an armadillo that comes out here, and I wished I could catch him. He wouldn't be alive. I've got 3 that's this size hanging on this hanger here. And then over here, look at these. I had no way I could go to town and buy all these hanging baskets. So I took one that I had, and I just broke little pieces off and kept breaking them off and sticking them in. And now I've got about 12 big Jew baskets that I just love. So I just thought I would show y'all that. And I did dig up a few banana trees because I want to, you hear this pea gravel crunching? I love my pea gravel. Got to screw my lattice back up. I've transplanted a banana tree here and here and a little one over here, and they're looking good. They were looking kind of puny, but I'm going to put some more here where I'll have a good banana tree, green, tropical looking background here. My hydrangeas don't really like this heat, but they're holding up pretty good, and I'm loving them. And over there in the corner I have, let's see if I can bring it up here. I have some more Jew, and I've also potted some of my run-in Peggy Martin rose. I wanted to have some more of that, so I broke pieces off and potted it. Y'all, it's hot, and I'm sparkling real good out here. I'm real shiny. So I think I better head back in the house. And it's so peaceful out here. I just love it. But anyhow, I'm going to head back. See that from this side? Those baskets are big and pretty. Anyway, I'm going to head back in and see if my pie crust is ready for us to roll it out and put it in the pan. Remember the other day when I told you that on July the 1st I planted ginger on one side and turmeric on the other? Well, look here. I've got ginger coming up. But I don't have any turmeric yet. I'll keep you updated. Okay, here we are back in the kitchen. Clean hands, ready to go. I'm gonna try to stretch this pie crust out a little bit because I'm using a Pyrex. I think it's a 10-inch because I wanted plenty of goodie in there. So I'll just try to make this roll out a little bit bigger. And see what we can do. Can y'all see me? I'm going to roll this pie crust up on my rolling pin. And then I'm just going to lay my rolling pin down on my plate and unroll it. That way I got it moved pretty good. That was not my original idea. That was a copycat, but it sure does work. Okay, let's see. I'd like to have some to... Y'all, I'm not a good pie maker. They taste good, but they never are pretty. I can't make that fluted edge look all fancy. But I can make them taste good in the pan. I just tuck under what's there, so I'll have a little mountain at the top, or whatever you want to call it. And this, one time Mama showed me how to do this as a kid. I was going to get to do her pie crust. She didn't let me do them no more. This just ain't my thing. One time she got an order for pies and she didn't want to make them I was fresh married and wanted to make me some extra money. I made those pies and I told her don't ever try to put that pie devil on me again. I wasn't good at making pies. She laughed. But the people liked them, ordered some more, so I guess they were pretty good. Well, this'll do, but it don't look like a professional pie maker. Can y'all see it? It's just all pinched real good around the edges. Okay, now I'm going to set this aside. And I need to preheat my oven, I think to 350. I'll have to find my recipe. 350, so I'm going to get my June oven ready. The reason I use this so much is because it's smaller and it does not heat my kitchen like my regular oven. So I use it all the time for baking and for making toast and everything because it just doesn't heat as bad. Now what we've got to do is separate 7 eggs. And I'm going to come over there to do this, just so I talk a little bit while I'm doing it. We need 7 egg whites. I don't know what I'm going to do with all those yolks, but I guess I'll come up with something. I could make lemon curd, but I never have made it and I don't know how. But that's an idea. I like it. Okay, 1. 2. My little old ladies, they're still laying 5 to 8 a day. Now my 9th chicken is one of my little real old ones, and she may be laying occasionally, but I don't think she is. So I really depend on those barred rocks or Dominickers, whatever you want to call them. I depend on them. 3. Y'all, this little thing I'm using to separate these eggs, I got from Tupperware, a Tupperware party, the free little thing, back in the 70s. I'm telling you, this little booger's old. Back in the dinosaur days. 4. Yuck. Somebody didn't wash that one. I don't wash any of them, but I do wipe them off if they got poop on them. And that must be one somebody else gathered for me. Get back in there. I remember my mama separating eggs, and she would crack that egg in half, and then she would do them back and forth like that over her bowl, and the white would fall out. Well, every time I try to do it that way, I poke holes in that yellow while I'm flipping. So I do it this way. 2, 4, 5, 6. I was so glad when I got this little hickey doodle, because I couldn't do it like Mama did. I wasn't good at that. Now I've seen people on YouTube crack them in their hand and let it fall between their fingers. I probably could do that, but I'll just do it this way. And this is 7. There we have our 7. So I'll put my egg yolks over here. I've got to bring these over to the KitchenAid mixer because I have a Bosch and I have a KitchenAid. I'm blessed. I use the Bosch for bread making or real big batches of cookies. That's a lot of hard work because my KitchenAid wouldn't hold up to it. But I like to whip my egg whites on the KitchenAid. So I've got my whisk on there, and I'm going to step over here and whip these until they're stiff peaks. And then I'll be right back and we'll get on with the rest of the pie making. I may take y'all over there because I got to add everything in at the mixer. Y'all want to walk about 10 feet. Okay, I've got my bowl locked in, and this is going to be noisy, so I'm going to turn it on, and then when they get stiff, I'll come back and talk to you some more. Help if I plugged it in, wouldn't it? It just won't run without electricity. Okay, they're real stiff, and let me show you. You can just pick up a blob of them, and they just pick up like that. So now we're going to add a cup and a half of sugar to our egg whites, a cup and a half of graham cracker crumbs, a cup and a half of sweetened coconut, and I'm going to give that a little whiz, then we'll add what else we have to add. We're going to add in a cup and a half of finely chopped pecans. I'm going to mix it just a little bit with the spatula. And it's not runny at all, okay? The egg whites just absorb all of your sawdust, your graham cracker crumbs. Okay, I'm going to get it in my crust. Can y'all see the crust? Put it in there. Press it around. You cook it about 25 minutes at 350. I'm going to go rinse my hands off, then I'm going to get it. The oven is at 350, so I'll be back in about 25-30 minutes, but it'll be a jiffy for y'all. Okay, the pie is almost done, and it's going to have to cool a bit, but I'm going to go ahead and make some whipping cream. Whip some whipping cream. You can use Cool Whip. I think that's what my recipe called for, but I'm going to whip my own real whipped cream. So I'm going to whip it real good, and then I'm going to sweeten it. I'm doing 1 cup. You can see by how it's on the beater here that it's thick, beat really well, and I put a little over 1/4 of a cup of sugar in it. So I'm just going to let this sit here. The house is good and cool. When my pie gets done and cools enough, we'll put it on there. Then we're going to cut it and taste of it. Okay, y'all, I've got my pie out of the oven, but I'm just letting it cool. But see how it puffed up a little bit? And it's still real hot, but it's set up good. Now, the recipe is 25 to 30 minutes. I cooked mine 40 minutes to get it the total pretty brown color that it is all over the top, and I feel like it's good and done. So I'm going to let it cool, and then we're going to come back and serve it with whipped cream, and you're supposed to put fresh sliced bananas on it. This recipe originated in Kentucky, and if you look it up and look its history up, it says in the wetlands of Kentucky. Now I don't know where that is, but there's a restaurant called Patty's 1880 Settlement, and the restaurant had burned, I think, in '08, but it has since reopened, and this is one of their signature desserts that they served, was sawdust pie. So I'm glad to have a piece of their history, and we're going to have it here today for a dessert. So when it cools enough, I'm not going to put my whipped cream over the whole pie and put it in the ice box. I'm just going to do that as I slice it. I'll put a portion of whipped cream, I'll usually say a blob, of whipped cream and a little bit of fresh banana, because if you put the whole whipped cream and then line bananas around, they're going to turn dark and be ugly, and then your pie won't be appetizing. So we're going to cut us a piece of the pie, put some whipped cream on it, and add a little bit of sliced fresh banana, and I'll show y'all how I'm going to do that, and then we're going to eat some of it. And I know y'all going to want to make one. You probably got eggs, and them boogers are getting high. You might have to get you some graham cracker crumbs, and you might keep bananas on hand, I don't know. But it's not a lot of expensive ingredients. You better make one pretty quick, because the eggs are getting more expensive all the time. That's a lot of eggs. My friend, I was going to do her a freeze dryer load of eggs where she would have them, and 18 just plain old eggs, not cage free, certainly not organic. Regular eggs, an 18 carton at Walmart in Cleveland was over $5 each. That just shocks me, because I'm getting mine from a little ladies out back. Now their feed's not free, it costs to feed them, but I forget to check on the price of them because I get eggs every day. But anyhow, y'all need to make this, but because it takes 7 eggs, make it before they get any higher. When it cools, we'll cut us a piece and see what it tastes like. I'll get my fork and taste of it with a bite of the banana, a little bit of the pie, and some of the whipped cream. Gotta have that whipped cream on it. Well, I can't get it all up on there at one time without having a huge bite, but here goes. Told y'all April said ketchup would make a piece of wood taste good. Well, this sure done wonders for sawdust. That's a really good pie. I think everybody needs to get the stuff and make them one before the eggs get any higher. It's different. It's a recipe that I haven't tried before. It was one that was given to me, and I like a recipe with some history. So then I looked on the internet to see what I could find about it. But everybody's seen, it's one of the things that made that restaurant popular, apparently, is their sawdust pie. I wanted to tell y'all, I'm always telling you to get you some stuff ahead. If you don't have a freeze dryer, you can't freeze dry you some eggs. But you can take eggs and crack them like in a muffin pan or a little silicone bowl, and freeze them, and then pop them out and put them all in a Ziploc bag. And those will cook and fry when you thaw them just like a regular egg. Or you can whip them up and freeze them individually and use them in your recipes to make scrambled eggs. But there are ways for y'all to put you a few things ahead, as long as there's electricity available, and you'll have some on hand if they become unavailable or so high you can't afford them. So that's just an idea for you to think about getting you some eggs ahead. Somebody had told me they were $5 and something close to their house at Michigan, and I thought, good grief, they ain't that high here. Well, I haven't been buying eggs. I didn't realize they were $5, and probably higher now. That was a few days ago. So y'all better pay attention and be, instead of buying you junk you don't need, you better get you a few extra things in your pantry, because you're not going to be able to afford much if things keep going up like they are. Everything but wages. Get your pantry stocked where you'll be okay, and you can feed your family and feed your own self. I don't want my family hungry, and I don't want to be hungry either. Do your part, and then trust the good Lord to do His. I hope y'all have a blessed few days ahead of you. We have a possibility of rain for a week. I hope to goodness we get it. Maybe we will. I'm going to look for it. Pray for it. I'll be back in a day or two with something else good. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for watching some of the ads. I appreciate that. If you watch YouTube, I know you don't want to watch the ads, but that's what helps the people that are making the videos get a paycheck, is if you watch and you watch the videos and you give the thumbs up, all of that goes into their algorithm. And that's just a big old word that I don't even know how they figure it. I just want them to figure it in my favor and make me some money. Please share my channel with your friends. Put it on your Facebook page or whatever, your social media, because you can reach an audience that I can't. The Lord's blessing me. My channel is growing, and I'm so thankful. So I hope y'all will share it and help me come back and watch. Email me if you have questions, comment. I always answer every comment. And let me just tell you, once in a blue moon, there'll be a comment and it will not give me the option to reply to it. So if you comment and everybody is replied to but you, don't get your feelings hurt. Some of them I have tried over and over and over, and finally days later it'll let me answer. I generally answer within 24 hours. So don't think I don't care about you and I'm not paying attention. Something's wrong with it when it does that, and I can't fix it. And I can't tell you that I can't fix it because it won't let me talk. The good Lord bless and keep y'all. I'll see you in a day or two.